All right. Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. Quick video, quick lesson. I'm going to title this video, These Women Are Going to Be Enamored with Us Soon. Isaiah 4:1. Okay. And, I'm pretty much touch on how, real quick, I'm going to touch on how, when society collapse, how these women, they're going to choose up real quick, man. All right. And they're going to choose them a man of the Lord. Okay. See, right now we live in a world, this shit is Cartoon Network, it's Nickelodeon channel, right? Where these women, they're choosing men based off of, carnal status, surface level shit. He's cute, green eyes. He got all the muscles. He got that fast car. He got this. He got that. And, I'm not saying that, us brothers are discouraged by these characters, because really these niggas that these women are chasing, they can't compete with us. They don't have the knowledge of the Lord. All right. And they're going to be destroyed. But, these niggas are in the way for why, they're pretty much in the way, and that's why these women, they can't see the glory that's tied to the men of the Lord at this moment. Right. Because, I'm very grateful for the brothers that I'm around. Right. And I'll tell you, just from my personal experience, the men of the Lord are some of the coldest men on the planet, man. Okay. Motherfuckers think that, we just some bums or, we afraid to talk to women and that's why we yell at them. Nah, man. See, these people, they don't know who brothers are, outside of, us teaching on the corners. All right. If a lot of these people got to hang out with a man of the Lord for the day, you would see, man, we actually some of the most coldest, most smoothest men in the city, man. All right. We got game. We got everything, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of confidence. We walk with a lot of authority. We're everything that, these women say that they're looking for in a man, right? The only problem is that it's just not our time yet. Okay. So for you brothers out there, don't get just discouraged because you see these women chasing, these goofy ass niggas, right? And, we got all of this knowledge. All right. And sometimes those thoughts are coming in your head like, man, why these women ain't checking for me? Why, they should be on me like how they on that nigga. Right. Well, hey, remember, these people in the world are receiving their constellation. OK. And a lot of these niggas that's getting these women. All right. It's all, it's all about carnal, cute shit, right? It's what's popular right now. Okay, so you gotta come to the realization that, until this society crash, our value is not gonna really be publicly shown. Okay. Because we're supposed to be in the background. Remember that. We're supposed to be in the background. We're not supposed to be noticed yet. All right. Because right now we're grinding. OK, we're grinding. When you think about, any concept of the grinding season. Right. You in the cut, you in the background. You ain't trying to make too much noise. Right. Let's say, for instance, you trying to save up to get a car and you're really dedicated to do it. right? You know, you not finna be at the club splurging money. You not finna be, trying to be on the scene throwing out a whole bunch of money. No, you're going to be quietly stacking your money because you have a goal in mind. So right now, we're quietly doing the work of the Lord. Okay, but the Lord is getting ready to reward us openly. Okay, the Lord is getting ready to reward us, you know, in public, and one of our rewards is, these women choosing up. Okay, reward you openly. Let me see something. Okay, this is this is perfect right here. This is Matthew 6 in verse 4. It says, actually, let's go up. Hang on. Matthew 6, we can start a little up. Matthew 6 and verse 3. It says, but when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thine alms may be in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. You see? So our job right now, okay, is supposed to be, about humility and humbling ourselves, all right, in the face of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. So you can't expect, the Playboy mansions yet. You can't expect, women to be all over you, man. You got brothers. I know brothers in the truth, man, cold brothers right now that don't even deal with women, right? I know brothers right now, man, brother, on fire in the spirit, man. But, niggas in the world will probably call him a lame because he ain't fucking with the bitches. He don't got a whole bunch of bitches on him. But when you look at this man's worth with the Lord, he's on fire. You see? So, it ain't about that right now. It ain't about being a playboy right now, man. It's about grinding. Okay. But hey, when the grinding stops, okay, when the famine of the word hits and we're taking off the internet and the street preaching is done, that's when the Lord is going to start rewarding us, right? That's when our hard work is going to pay off. And a part of our reward is going to be, the women gravitating towards us, okay? Them being enamored with us, man. Let me get that definition, enamored, okay? This is enamored. It says be filled with a feeling of love for, have a liking or admiration for, right? Because when society crashes, the men of the Lord, right, we're gonna be like a stiff rock, right? We're gonna be like like a stone cold juggernaut in the spirit, while everybody's bugging out, while everybody's running around not knowing what the fuck to do. Nobody got answers. We just gonna have that look on our face like we know it all, but we ain't gonna tell. We humble enough not to blurt it out. And I'm gonna tell you, the first ones who's gonna notice that on us is women, because remember, women are very good at picking up social cues. All right, I know this because I'm a brother. Brothers who know me. All right, it ain't no secret, but I'm a brother that likes to, I like to go out. I like to be, in the mix. I like to go to events. I like to go places where, a good amount of people are hanging out, dancing, having a good time. I'm one of them type of brothers. All right, of course, it's a balance. I'm not no goddamn fucking. I don't lose my mind or nothing like that. But hey, I'm a brother that likes to, kind of be on the scene. And what I observed, okay, in my experience of being on the scene is that women are very good at, identifying, I guess in modern terms, the alpha male in the room, right? Women know who that alpha male is, man. They know. Okay. They know the posture. They know the walk, right? They know who the man of authority is in the room, man. Okay. And I'll give you brothers a quick insight. If you're ever in a spot, right, and a woman asks you, hey, are you like the security? Or she asks you, hey, do you own the building? Because that's happened to me before. You're doing the right thing. That means that she acknowledges you as the alpha in the room. Okay. So women know. Women pick up on it fast. Okay. So imagine when all hell breaks loose, how these women are going to be looking at us, man. Okay. They're going to be able to spot us real quick. All right. Just like that movie, The Book of Eli. Right. When you watch that movie, okay. The character that Denzel Washington was playing, I remember he went inside of the bar, right? And he was just sitting in the bar. He was just trying to conceal his identity. He wasn't trying to, be all out there, and that's how we going to be. We not going to try to, even in the midst of chaos, we still going to be incog Hebrew. You know what I mean? We going to be real locked in to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, But in that movie, I remember that character, he went inside that bar and he didn't make a lot of noise. All he did was just go up in there and sit down. And everybody in the room noticed him. Everybody in the room was looking at him. The women was stopped what they was doing. Like, who is that? You see? Because everybody could feel that he wasn't a normal person. All right. He was of a higher calling. Okay. So these women, they're going to pick it up real quick, man. They're going to pick it up real quick, especially when society collapsed, because, in the midst of chaos, people's adrenaline spikes, right? People's adrenaline, the average person, their adrenaline spikes up. And when your adrenaline spikes up, okay, your focus is a lot stronger. So people are going to be able to laser focus on who's who. All right. Okay. And, when they find out, all right, that we're favored by the Most High. Okay. The first thing that they're going to do is respect us. Okay. They're going to respect us. The second, all right, is going to be that feeling of being enamored with us. Right. Okay. Because the thing about women is women, like they say, women are hypergamous by nature. All right. Women respect the boss. Women respect the man of authority. And that respect usually translates into love. Right. A feeling of admiration. OK. So, hey, brothers, don't fret yourselves, man. All right. With these women. OK, because, hey, we in the flesh. Hey, every man wants a little, sexy little chick on their arms. What man don't, unless you a faggot, you know what I'm saying? Or you one of these punk ass beta males out here. But every man wants a sexy woman on his arm, man. OK, but remember, man, hey, this is grind season. We in that grind season. All right. These women is going to have to take a back seat right now. So let them run around with the betas. Right. Let these women chase these betas. Let them, choose up on these cute niggas. Let these cute niggas have them for right now. Don't trip. Because when we get them, OK, the Lord is going to give up. They're going to give their full devotion to us, man. All right. Let me get this in Chat GPT, because, if you watch my my videos, I like to, mess around with Chat GPT and ask certain little questions. Right. All right. So when I asked Chat GPT, I said, because I get real creative with these questions. I put, if society was to crash and descended into chaos and there was a righteous man whom God was protecting, how would woman treat that man, right? And Chat GPT came out, with some interesting answers, man. Okay, all in the spirit. So let's read a little bit about this. It says in Scripture, chaos clarifies roles. When judgment hits in the Bible, illusions fall away fast. You see? So, a lot of these women right now, man, you got to understand the majority of these women are hyped up on enchantments. Okay, you can see it all over them. A lot of these women are they're you could pretty much put these women into a category. Each woman, okay, that bitch, she's one of them goth girls. Okay, she wears a lot of makeup. Okay, she's into herself. Okay, she's one of them fucking voodoo chicks that likes to play with tarot cards and crystals. She's trying to be an Instagram baddie, yada yada, right? But when society crashes, man, all right, a lot of these women are gonna give up the charade, and they're gonna they're going to be their authentic selves, because they're not going to be able to put on that makeup. They're not going to be able to go to that nail salon, man. They're not going to be able to, flaunt their ass on social media. They're going to have to be their authentic self, because now it's about survival. So the illusions is going to fall. And even the illusion of what these women prefer in men, because right now what these women prefer in men is what Esau Edom told them to prefer, right? All of these goddamn twisted narratives in their mind of what a real man is. You see, that shit is going to be a thing of the past. And these women are going to get back to their natural order of desiring real men again. Right. Because right now, these women don't desire a real man. They desire some cuck simp. All right. That's just going to treat them like, like they're gods on earth. OK. So that illusion is going to fade. It says what stops mattering: charm, popularity, vanity, romance, first thinking. You see, that's all that bullshit. When you watch that show, Pop the Balloon, right? That little Pop the Balloon show. Okay, that's all that shit is: popularity and vanity. And you see how them women act, right? That's why the scriptures talk about give not a wicked women liberty to gad abroad. Right? When you give a woman too much liberty, okay, of course she's going to choose based on carnal expectations. Them bitches be on that Pop the Balloon show. I don't like the shoes. No, your hair. I heard one woman say, oh, your head is just a little bit too small for me, But that's going to stop, okay? In that day, men are going to be measured based on the spirit that they have on them. And I'm going to tell you right now, what's going to make us stand out, brothers, is a lot of these men is either going to die or they just going to be some weenie ass niggas in the corner. Okay. They not going to have no more might because they don't know what the fuck going on. You see, it says what suddenly matters. This is what's going to matter to women, right? Fear of God, self-control, justice, consistency, ability to protect without corruption. All right. That's what women are going to notice in us, man. OK. And this is what we've been building. All right. And been rooting ourselves. All right. In the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. This is what the Lord is molding us into, man. All right. It says Proverbs 11:8. The righteous is delivered out of trouble and the wicked cometh in his stead. You see. Women are going to notice how, we like, let's say, for an example, let's just say an extreme, right? You might be locked in a FEMA camp, right? And everybody in that FEMA camp is bugging the fuck out. They in the cage. What am I going to do, man? You know what I'm saying? Tripping. But then you the only one in the cage completely calm, not even tripping. You don't even look worried. Right? Women are going to notice that. Like, why is he? I mean, what's up with him? I'm tripping. I see this dude tripping. This nigga got a whole bunch of muscles and he crying like a female, but him over there, he cool, right? And then let's just say later on that day, the Lord opens the goddamn jail door, right? The Lord opens the jail door for you, and you just walk right out. You see? Women are going to be like, damn, God is with him. I gotta lock in with that guy. You see? So a lot of these women are going to lock in with us, okay? Just because they know that that the Heavenly Father is dealing with us, man. All right? And they're going to respect that, okay? Like referring back to that movie, The Book of Eli, that woman, okay, the woman who was playing the female Mila Kunis, her character, right? In that movie, you could tell her character respected Eli. She respected him. Like, anything he told her, she was obedient to it. He didn't know her. All right. And she barely knew him, but she respected him. That's how women are going to be. They're just going to get a sudden urge to I got to go with him. I got to go with him. You see? It says women would first observe, not rush. They would watch. Does he exploit chaos? Does he take advantage of fear? Does God's favor remain on him constantly? Do people near him survive? This is what women are going to be watching. Okay? Only after observation does alignment happen, right? And they going to observe us, right? And they going to notice right away, okay, yeah, this guy is favored by a higher being. I need to be around that if I want to survive. That's why I say, hey, Akim, don't trip. Okay, don't trip about not having all the women right now. Okay, not getting them how you want. Right? It's a lot of you brothers probably you probably crushing on some little some little cute little Latina, little bitch work she work at one of the stores in your neighborhood. You crushing on her like, man, I wish I could have her. Y'all about she y'all shy. Give me her. Don't worry, man. Okay? Because the Lord is getting ready to give us these women. The Lord is going to give us better women than the women that we looking at right now. And they're going to be loyal and devoted to us, man. We finna get these women, okay, in a way better way than how these niggas got them. These women, they playing with these niggas, man. These are niggas that they wasting time with. They going to the bar, can you give me a drink? That's how they treat these niggas. Can you give me a drink? Can you give me a car? Can you give me, they treat these niggas like toys, but they're going to respect us like men. And I would rather wait to have them like that than to be playing this little bullshit game with them. I'm tired of taking these women out on dates, man. And I'm pretty sure some of you brothers feel the exact same way. Okay? You're tired of taking these women on dates and playing that little bullshit game. Pretty soon we ain't going to have to play that game, man. We just going to be rock solid individuals. Okay? And the women going to be chasing us down. All right? Let me get this scripture real quick. This is Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind. And is that talking about any ordinary man? No, that's talking about a man of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? We're going to be like a hiding place from the wind, right? Women are going to want to, get with us, okay, to be protected, to be with a man that has common sense, because a lot of these men, all right, a lot of these men act like they know how to lead a woman, but that's because society is still going, right? If any of us was carnal, okay, and we depended on money to validate our status, and we depended on stupid shit to validate our status, any one of us could sell a bitch a dream, man, and make it seem like we're Prince Charming. But who are you when all bets are off in this martial law, okay, and it's every man for himself and the world is turned completely savage? Who are you then? A lot of these men ain't going to be able to lead these women, right? A lot of these men is going to lead these women to death because he's stupid. He going, baby, let's go over here, baby. Lead the bitch right into a goddamn martial law checkpoint, and he get him and the woman killed, right? Because he ain't gonna be operating in the spirit. You see, we gonna be operating in the spirit, so we gonna be a hiding place from the wind. It says, in a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place. Yeah. And that kind of symbolizes, like, if you was in a desert and you ain't got nothing to drink, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had nothing to drink, but then you come across, a pool of running clean water, your whole spirit will light up. All right. And you'll be refreshed. You know what I'm saying? So that's how these women is going to see us. They're going to be refreshed when they see us. Because think about all the men, all right, when society crashed, think about all the men that they're going to come across that they're going to watch turn into a bitch in front of their face. It's going to, man, I'm telling you, man, all of these men out here, man, these cute niggas with these cars, these niggas with these lineups, these niggas that lead with their money, these niggas is getting ready to turn into bitch ass niggas in front of these women, man. Okay? And a lot of these women is going to spit in these niggas' face and say, get your punk ass away from me. All right? Where the real men at? You know what I'm saying? So when they see us, they spirit is going to be refreshed. Like, that's the man I'm looking for. Okay? That's the one. You see? It says, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right? Let me get that in a different translation real quick. Isaiah 32:2 in the NLT. It says, each one will be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm, like streams of water in the desert and the shadow of a great rock in a parched land. Okay? That's what we going to be to these women, man. All right? Hey, it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. Okay? Think about all of the relationships we've had in Babylon up to this point. Some of you brothers that's experienced with having girlfriends and, messing around with these women. Hey, let's be honest here, man. I'll say about 9 times out of 10, this shit don't work out. Right? Or you got to deal with some type of trouble in the flesh if you've been dealing with her for a certain amount of time. Right? It's always some bullshit attached to this because, this is still Toontown. All right. The way we finna get these women is going to be better than any of the women we've ever dealt with. All right. We're going to have a better relationship with these women. When society crashed, the women that's going to come to the men of the Lord, we're going to have a better relationship with those type of women than we've ever had in our whole life. With any interaction we've ever had with women up until that point. All right. Those women are going to treat us the best. Those women are going to give us our respect. Okay. And they're going to be enamored with us. All right. This Babylonian shit, man, you got to deal with a bitch talking shit, sassing, being sassy and shit. Yeah, she your woman, but she's sassy. She don't listen. She do dumb shit. Right. They going to cut all that shit out, man. All right. And they going to be fully obedient to what we tell them in the spirit. And if not, we going to give them the boot just that fast. Okay. Get the fuck out of here. All right. And we going to be able to do that too. All right. We going to be able to reject too. All right. A lot of these women is going to get rejected. Bitch, a bitch too far gone. You know what I mean? She still got that goddamn Cardi B Glorilla demon on her, and it's just a little bit too much to deal with in them times. Hey, bitch, you ain't getting no protection. All right, you ain't rocking with me. You hold me back. You see, we We going to really have it made. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to reward us, man. Trust me. We ain't doing this for nothing. And the Lord know what we want. All right. The Lord know what men want. OK. What does the scripture say? The glory of a man is a woman. Right. The Lord hear our cries, how we be desiring these women. And let's just be real. You know what I mean? Come on now. You know, we men here, man. You know, I know brothers be sitting back looking at these women in Babylon like, God damn, that bitch got a fat ass. God damn, man, I can't wait for Isaiah 4:1 to happen, man. I know, man. And the Lord going to make it happen for us, man. And the Lord going to make it happen for us better than our wildest imaginations, man. All right. So let's get back to Chat GPT. It says respect comes before dependence. In scripture, women do not give loyalty to men merely because they are strong. They do so because they are just. If the man is righteous, his word carries weight, his boundaries feel safe, his presence lowers chaos instead of increasing it. And that's just what I read, Isaiah 32:2, right? You know, women would treat him with deference, not flattery, with cooperation, not submission theater. You see? So all of that bullshit they talking about, you know, because you got these women that get online and be like, I cook, I clean, I'm a good woman, and right? But you could clearly see that the broad is just she's just a 304 demon, and she just saying whatever, right? To make herself seem, to inflate herself, inflate her worth bigger than what it is. But in that day, okay, it ain't gonna be no more games. All right, it ain't gonna be no more games. Women is gonna lead with action with us, man. Okay. They not, they ain't finna be trying to give us the run around. Well, my name is Sherry and I cook, I clean. And nah, they gonna show us right away that they down for the cause. Because one thing I know about women, if a woman want a man, okay, you be very surprised the things that women would do, okay, to get that man. All right. Look at, and this is just a carnal representation, but look at a nigga like Chris Brown, okay? Which we way better than Chris Brown. Chris Brown is a goddamn homosexual faggot, all right, that Esau has propped up, and that's just real. But look at it. Look how they treat Chris Brown, okay? They'll go pay $1,000 for a picture with him, right? So when she really want to get on your team, I'm telling you, man, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's happened to me. It's happened to brothers. When a woman want to get on your team, man, shit. All right. Women will drop that pride quick. All right. And women will lead with action. I'm telling you. All right. It ain't going to be no goddamn games about it. All right. It says as a stabilizing authority, not a possession. Let's see. Dependence would be about covering, not comfort. Biblically, dependence means protection under law. Let's go down a little. All right. The righteous man. All right. Not all women respond the same. The Bible never presents women as a single mindset. Some would cling out of fear, attempt a manipulation, project savior fantasies. You see? And those type of women, they're going to get rejected. All right. Because, it might be some women in that time that might try to still pull a fast one, but they're going to get rejected. The Lord going to have them come across us to condemn them. OK, because a lot of you women is going to be destroyed. All right. And a lot of you women. All right. Y'all going to come across the men of the Lord in that day. All right. Thinking that, OK, this is my time to get back on. A lot of you Instagram baddies, you bitches that before the world crashed, you was just living it up, going on different dates, getting it your way, 16K followers. OK, a lot of you bitches, you going to come across the men of the Lord thinking that this is your second chance. All right. And just the spirit is going to have a man of the Lord reject your ass to your face just to seal your fate. All right. You get the direct word from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai that you ain't going to make it. OK, so keep that in mind, too. A lot of you women is just going to get rejected. All right. But for the women that humble themselves. OK, the scriptures say that they shall be saved in childbearing. OK, If you present yourself as an asset and not a liability, okay, there's a chance. There's a chance for you. All right. There's a chance for you. Okay. And for you sisters, all right, you sisters that that are tuned in to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, a lot of y'all should feel honored because y'all got the jump start. All right. The Lord has, given you the understanding to know who the real men of the Lord are. So, like brothers say, okay, we ain't trying to do no matchmaker. All right. This ain't the Cupid love show, but hey, you women you women that are tapped in, to the spirit. Hey, a lot of y'all better start, making your intentions known. OK, a lot of y'all better stop playing and make your intentions known because the men of the Lord, our value is getting ready to go up high. Right. It's just like, when a new product hits the market, you know what I mean? At first, that product is, it has a lot of potential and it's slowly gaining traction. Right. So the price might be, a little cheaper. Right. But then you revisit that product 3 years later and the price has tripled. And now, because you procrastinated on buying it when it was cheap, thinking that it wasn't a big deal, now you can't even afford it. You see? So, hey, for you women that are tapped into the spirit, hey, the Lord is giving you the opportunity to, hey, jump on the train now. OK, because the men of the Lord's price is getting ready to skyrocket, man. All right. I just want to put that out there. It says, let's see. Bottom line. Let's get to this. Let's just get to the conclusion, right? Bottom line, if society collapsed and God protected a righteous man, women would treat him with respect before desire. And desire and the feeling of being enamored for a man is that ties into respect. Because before a woman even gives her body to a man, she has to respect him. All right. That's just encoded in women DNA. If you know anything about women, the majority of women, unless she's like a full blown prostitute or just some little ghetto gagger from the neighborhood, the majority of women, if they lay down with a man, they have to respect them first. That's why a lot of these women, they want to go out on a date with the man and, they want to fill him out and text him all day because they want to, develop that respect and trust. All right. So these women, they're going to respect us in a high on a high caliber because they're going to be able to do a direct compare and contrast. Right. They're going to be able to compare us to the men that are bugging out and the men that don't got the answers. All right. And they're going to be able to acknowledge that, a higher power is dealing with us directly. OK, and they're going to respect that because they're going to acknowledge the discipline that we have for a higher power to deal with us in the way that, it's going to be publicly shown. All right. It says dependence would be practical and moral, not emotional fantasy. Yeah. All that bullshit, all that shit that these women is talking right now. You got to be emotionally vulnerable and you got to have this, because these women got a whole goddamn list of what a man should be. Hey, all that shit is going to be out the window. OK, all that shit. We ain't going to have to be no cute, sexy, flexy ass nigga. Trust me, man. All right. We ain't going to have to be none of that, man. All right. A lot of women ain't even into that shit anyways, man. They just, a lot of these women are just chasing, these little pretty boy niggas, right? Chasing these worldly pretty boy niggas just because it's the status quo, She can brag to her homegirls about that. But when society collapsed, full blown Jacob's trouble, what good is a pretty boy, light skinned, green eyed nigga with muscles? What good is he gonna be if he's a bitch and he don't know what's going on? All right. It's going to be about the measure of the man. OK, that's what's going to matter. Real men is going to stand out again. All right. It says alignment will be about order and survival. His righteousness would restrain his power, not expand it. Exploitation would disqualify him immediately. Okay, so just some proof. You all right? That's Chat GPT. All right, you spit the bones out. There's a reason why I didn't read the whole report, right? Because how Chat GPT is. This is still the devil's technology. So, but you get the point though. How women are gonna view us, man. They're gonna view us as a high commodity, man. Okay, and this is the discipline that we put in. And it's going to be the results of our hard work for Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Remember, the scriptures talk about the Lord is not going to forget our labor of love, man. And the Lord knows what we want. The Lord knows we desire. All right. The Lord knows what we desire, man. OK. And we ain't been out here. All right. Like these like these niggas that claim that they alphas on podcasts, trying to show off how much money they got and the bitches they fuck with. And you know what I mean? We ain't been doing none of that. All we've been doing is being locked into Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, teaching the word, okay? Staying in the background, okay? And the Lord respects that. All right. The scriptures say that the Lord has respect unto his chosen. The Lord respects the fact that we ain't trying to be worldly. We don't care about being popular in this world. So the Lord is going to give us that anyway. All right. Look at IUIC, look at ISUPK, look at these other camps, man. All right. You could tell they really want to be popular. They really want the women to fuck with them. And that's why they look so corny. Right. Because let's be real. IUIC and ISUPK. All right. All of them goddamn gimmicks. I'll say about 70% of that is for the attention of women. Right. It's for the attention of women. All right. Because, when Jake got women looking at him, you know how Jake is. Jake starts showing off, start going extra with it. But we ain't been extra with it. We've been locked into the Lord, man, grinding. All right. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord respects that. And the Lord is going to give us what we desire. OK. And the Lord is going to put it on our plate more than what we even think, man. So, hey, it's something worth waiting for, man. OK, it's something worth waiting for. Don't lose patience. And I'm telling you as a man, I know it can be difficult out here looking at these women and you just want to have them all. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, you just want to have them all. I want her. God damn, she look good. Why can't I have that, Lord? You asking the Lord, why can't you have that? Soon, man. Very soon. OK. The Lord got to break these women down first. You see? Hey, remember, man, we're dealing with a higher vibration here, man. You got to die and come back to deal with us, man. All right? These women are going to have to die and come back, man. Okay? And maybe not physically die, but they got to die to this world. The world around them has to die first. Their identity has to die. They have to be broken down and risen back up, okay, with the proper understanding. That's how we had to get it. You see? So it's the same with these women out here. They got to die and come back to fuck with us, man. All right? And we going to get their true, authentic self. We ain't going to get that little fake, little Barbie doll, princess treatment shit that they giving these other faggot ass niggas. We going to get that real spirit inside of them, man. Okay? Definitely something worth waiting for. So let me get this classic scripture because I got to get this. All right, this is Isaiah 4:1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. 7 women, and that's a complete number. It might be 3, okay? Might be 2. You might be a brother with 2 women in that day. All right, that have latched on to you. Or hey, you might have a whole goddamn fucking battalion of women, man. You might be looking after 6 women, 7, that have latched on to you. Okay? It's just a complete number. It says, saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, meaning that these women, they're going to come with resources. They're going to want to help. They're going to assemble like a team. All right. It ain't going to be no more. Well, what could you do for me? You got some money. Nah, man. Okay. Like I said, them type of bitches, they going to be up out of here. We're going to get them to boot. All right. We're going to send them. We're going to deliver their ass up to Satan. All right. Let them die off. Okay. But the women that are, allotted to be with a man of the Lord, they're gonna come to us like a team. All right. They're gonna have something, right? Something she could do. She might know, hey, I don't know, she might know how to fish. Like, okay, that motherfucker useful. You know what I mean? Or she might know how to patch up wounds. You know what I'm saying? The Lord might have it to where you get an injury, right? And it's like, and you be praying to the Lord, like, Lord, how can I, Baba Kushal, do something about this injury? And then here she come, I know how to fix it up, and she fix it up real nice for you. And you like, oh yeah, she's useful. Oh yeah, I got to keep her around. You see? So these women, they're going to be a team, man. They're going to assemble like a team, man. Okay. It says, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Right. And being called by, I remember the big brother, Mwatazak out here in the Los Angeles camp. He broke that down a long time ago. He said, women being called by your name is ultimately marriage. So, like I said, that respect is going to turn into love. It's going to turn into a deep admiration. It's going to turn into attraction. And if these women want to be married with us, what that mean? That means that a lot of these women is going to desire us. I'm going to just say it. They're going to desire us sexually too. You see? So we're going to get everything we want. We're going to get respect. We're going to get the highest level of respect out of women. And we're going to get them to where they want to rip the clothes off us. All right. And make sweet love. They want to get they want to turn on that Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, this is something worth waiting for, man. For you brothers out there, man, that's grinding for the Lord. Keep grinding, man. All right. And don't let this punk ass world make you think that, I ain't got no bitches. Because, that's a demon. That's a demon, man. That I ain't got no bitches spirit. Why I ain't got no bitches? I know some Jakes feel lost with, because, maybe in the world you was somebody that had all the women, and then you come into the truth, the Lord break you down, and you ain't really got no women no more. Right? Don't get discouraged by that, man. And just wait on the Lord, man. The Lord is getting ready to give these women to us in a whole nother way. Okay. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'll give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Shalom. Shalom.